With the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State.
But you know, as they say, hail to the Redskins. Let's roll, man. Let's go.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sisters. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. So I have been following this Redskins name change situation very, very closely. I've been off the grid, obviously. For those of you who aren't in the know, I'm moving and I'm transitioning into our new place. And so that process is still ongoing. So I haven't been able to do videos because I would have been all over this, as you guys know. But in my downtime, while we're transitioning, I've been consuming any and everything that has to do with this name change. I'm just fascinated by this because, for one, I didn't see this coming. I'm not going to lie to you. And it was amazing how fast we got to the point that we're at because, and maybe I'm too naive and maybe I should have seen this coming because, you know, one of you guys out there, one of the viewers hit me up on socials and this was like a month and a half ago when Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben were being snatched off of shelves and they were rebranding those companies. And they said, hey, look, man, they coming for Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. What do you think? Are they coming for us next? And I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. We're good. Like, we've been down this road before. We've swatted them off before. We'll do it again. And it was so swift this time. And you know what? I wanted to come on and actually state my position one final time and then kind of take the pulse of Redskins Nation because I've been overwhelmed at how many fans are really ready for the Redskins to change their names, or at least they're excited about the possible name change and they're sending me name requests and what they think it should be, and they're sending me logos and things to go with it. And I'm just kind of floored by all of the people that are actually looking forward to this happening. Let me state this for the record. I do not want this, okay? I'm not on board with the Redskins changing their name. Now, I understand those out there that believe the name needs to be changed, and I understand where they're coming from. And at this point, I don't have enough energy to fight anymore, okay? But let it be known that I don't want this. I am a Washington Redskins fan, always have been, and I thought I was always going to be able to lay claim to that. So I don't want this, all right? In no shape, way, or form do I want to see the team change its name, change the logo, and change anything about this team's rich history. That being said, this train's moving and you can either get on or you can get left, okay? So whether you want this to happen or not, it's going to happen with your blessing or without it. So at this point now, I've already wrapped my brain around this concept of the Redskins changing their name. Now the real question is to what and to how. And so when I say what, I've got a poll. So check out the poll on my YouTube channel. And the poll is essentially giving you options as to what to choose in terms of a name. Which do you prefer? And I give you 4 options. One is the Warriors. Another is the Renegades. Another is the Rebels. And then the last option is anything that starts with red. And I think I already know what's going to win. But right now I'm hearing that the Redskins had already blocked off Warriors a while back in case of an emergency. And this seems like an emergency. So I'm hearing that right now the front runner is going to be Warriors. But I don't want to be the Washington Warriors. And to me, if you're going to change the name, and it seems like that's going to happen and it's imminent, it needs to be something that starts with an R. Whether it's red something or not, it really doesn't make me one bit of difference. It just needs to start with an R, I feel like. And I don't think you need to change the colors. And I don't think Daniel Snyder is going to change the colors. And I'm just going to tell you this right now. Daniel Snyder is going to do this begrudgingly. He does not want to change this name. He's going to do this kicking and screaming. But it's at the point now where the league is, they're tired of it, all right? And I've read so many articles. I've listened to so many podcasts. I've taken in all of this information, And the league is sick and tired of this name change debate and this topic being brought up. And they're sick and tired of having to deal with this. They're sick and tired of the Redskins organization not being what it once was. This is a flagship organization. This is supposed to be one of the prouder franchises in all of football. It's turned into one of the worst franchises in terms of attendance, in terms of visibility, in terms of marketability. This team has become a sore eye, a black eye on the league. And this is a huge step in this organization turning that perception around. And, one of the best ways that you can help turn this thing around if you're the Redskins organization is to change the name and then to try and get that stadium at the RFK site where it belongs in D.C. D.C. is about to potentially become a state here in this country, which is something that I never thought I would see happen either. And so while it's about to become a state, it also needs to have the team that bears its name back where it belongs at the RFK site. And then really the federal government has already made their case that, look, we're not selling the land to the state until you change the name. And then the state could then buy the land, and then we could start moving that process forward potentially. So there's a lot of things that come with potentially changing the name. Look, at this point, like I said, I'm out of juice. I no longer have the resolve left in me to fight this because it's a battle that we're not going to win. And at this point, as long I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want Warriors as the name. I can't speak for any of you out there. I'm just going to tell you this. I really don't care what they do with the name, honestly speaking. Some of these logos that people have sent me, some of them have been pretty cool. Others have been not so cool. And I'm like, I've seen Red Wolves and I've seen that kind of gain a little bit of steam. I'm like, no, you, not the Red Wolves, okay? I don't know if they'll do the Redtails thing or the Red Hawks. And Ron Rivera has said this, and this is what made me really feel like this is getting done. Ron Rivera said, we were in discussions with the league for the last 2 weeks discussing a name change potentially. And there are two in particular that I'm kind of smitten with. And what I thought to myself was, I was listening to a podcast. I don't remember which one. And, I want to say it was the Kevin Sheehan Show podcast. And this was about a week ago. And a fan asked him, hey, do you think that Ron Rivera is going to have input in this decision-making process? And Kevin said, no, there's no way he's going to have any input. He just got here. And I was thinking to myself the same exact thing. There's no way that Ron Rivera is going to have a huge impact. It's not like he's Joe Gibbs or something. But I think I might be wrong about that. I think Ron Rivera may actually have a bigger voice in this matter. And let's be honest, he's been the only guy speaking. All right, other than public press releases from the team and the organization, I've heard that Dan's not even in the country right now. So Ron's been the only guy speaking. He spoke at a Chicago radio station, kind of deflected there. He came back here and he had a interview with one of the writers for the Washington Times or Washington Post. And so he's the front runner here. He's the guy that's leading the charge, it seems like. And this thing is going to happen. And he's got two names, and he says the two names that they kind of whittled it down to, or at least the ones that he likes, they're going to honor both Native Americans and it's going to honor the military. So you guys can stop with the Red Wolves and all that stuff, because the Red Wolves doesn't honor the military. So Warriors does do that, which I don't want. Redtails would definitely fit that description. So we'll see what they decide to do. I think Red Hawks does that from a Native American standpoint, but not necessarily a military standpoint. I'm at this point, I could really care less, as long as it's not something crazy. And Rivera did say this: when you do this, you have to be careful, because you don't want to turn into a joke. And, with some of the names I'm hearing, the revolutionaries and all this kind of nonsense I'm hearing, like, are you serious? Like, go sit down with the revolutionaries. What are you talking about? So as long as they don't embarrass us and our new name doesn't cause us to be the butt of jokes, and whatever they decide to do, I don't think they're changing the colors. But they're going to have to do a logo change. They're trying to distance themselves from anything that can be controversial. So I don't know if it's going to be anything that's close to Native American ties. There may be some kind of link to it, but it won't be something that they'll have to go back and change, 4 or 5 years down the road. So, I've heard Braves and all of that stuff. There's no way they're going to name themselves the Braves. The Braves in MLB are already having issues with their name and have had it in the past. They've come out and said they're not changing anything, but they'll consider, the tomahawk chop and maybe not doing that. But I don't see them doing it. And that's part of the reason why I don't want the Warriors, is because some people don't care about this. I do. Forge your own path. All right. There's already a Warriors professional team in a different sport. And that's one thing teams generally do a pretty good job of, is steering clear of having a name that's already being occupied in a different sport. And so if you're the Redskins, you've got a chance to start fresh, clean slate. You don't go and piggyback off of a name that's already being used, okay? So when someone says, hey, man, I'm going to the Warriors game, I don't need someone asking me, well, which one? All right? They should know that if I say I'm going to a Redtails game, which I'm just going to be honest with you, that has to grow on me. I'm not a huge Redtails fan, but maybe it'll grow on me. I love the significance of what it means, but I'm just not a huge fan. It doesn't ring to my ears right now. But then again, I've been a Redskins fan my entire life. Nothing's going to ring to these ears like Redskins did or does. And so I'll just have to get used to whatever they decide to do. But I just hope it's not Warriors, because, again, there's already a Warriors established. They've got a history. Let them have that name. Come up with your own name. Forge your own legacy. Go down your own path. That's how I feel. How do you guys feel? What do you think the name should be? I've got a poll. Go ahead and check that poll out and answer the question. I'll check that poll, and we'll have a video coming back with the response to that poll. But how do you feel about this name change taking place? Are you on board? Are you indifferent? Do you think it's well overdue? Are you going to go down kicking and screaming? You don't want this. What is your stance? A lot of you are just throwing names at me. Some of you sound like you're excited about this. I'm just going to tell you, I, however, am not. This is not what I asked for. This is not what I want. But at this point, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't look like this is something we have a say in at this point. So no need in even fighting any longer. You see what's happening here. Change is coming, whether you like it, I like it, or not. So with that being said, leave it down in the discussion of this video, okay? What is your feeling about the name change? Is this what you want? Or are you someone that has always felt like this name belonged and doesn't want to see it go? That doesn't matter, but I just want to know. And what do you think the name should be? Because it's going to change whether we want it to or not. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Don't know how much longer I'll be able to say this, but until then, hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. That's probably subject to change here shortly, but in the meantime, we'll just continue to say hail to the Redskins. Leave it down in the comment section along with a like and a sub if you haven't already done so. Make sure that you're checking out all the content. I'm going to try to put out as many videos to pass the time as possible, but just know that on July 19th, I will officially make my return. We will go live on that Thursday, and we will have a myriad of topics to discuss. Looking forward to that July 19th live stream with you guys. There's so many things that we need to talk about that honestly, it's going to be really interesting to hear from a lot of you out there. So in the meantime, you guys take care. Like the videos, subscribe to the Louie T Network. Look forward to chopping it up with you very shortly in the future. In the meantime, check out the poll, give your response there, and also leave a comment in the comment section. Until next time, you guys take care. Have a good one.
Louie T Network.